The flames danced wildly against the darkening sky, sirens still in the distance, too far to help. A small voice cried for air, trapped behind smoke and burning walls. While everyone else froze in fear, one woman moved without hesitation. The woman whose clothes hung in tatters. The woman others crossed the street to avoid. The woman no one cared to look in the eyes. She rushed into the fire, risking everything. Moments later, as the child gasped for breath in her trembling arms, a black luxury car screeched to a halt. A powerful CEO with panic on his face stormed out, eyes locked not on the flames, but on her. His words shook her soul. "Where is she? The woman who saved my son." He looked desperate, as if his future depended on finding her. Viewers, stay to the end. You will not believe what this woman had once lost, and what she was about to gain. Your support matters so much, so tap the like button and subscribe if this story inspires you to believe in second chances. Elena Reed sat on a cold metal bench behind the shopping plaza, clutching the straps of a worn-out backpack. The night air smelled of wet concrete and stale garbage. She pulled her coat tighter, though its holes did little to keep away the chill. She had learned to ignore the stares, the pity, the whispered judgments. Homelessness had taught her a heartbreaking truth: people rarely look deeper than appearances. Years ago, she had been a bright nursing student with dreams of serving others. Life had not always been kind. A tragic loss, a betrayal, and a medical debt spiral had pushed her from working night shifts to sleeping under bridges. Yet she still helped those she could, sharing soup with another woman on the streets, guiding a lost child, comforting someone shaking in withdrawal. She had nothing, yet she gave what she could: compassion. Every sunrise, Elena reminded herself, still breathing. Still fighting. That had to be enough. On an evening when the world seemed especially heavy, Elena wandered toward a small apartment building. She often collected expired bread behind the bakery there. Tonight felt different. The air held tension, an uneasy quiet before chaos. Then she heard it. Screams. Glass shattered. Smoke billowed from the second floor as flames climbed upward like hungry monsters. A crowd gathered, but panic froze them. A man shouted, "A child's trapped." Second bedroom. Fear paralyzed everyone except Elena. She did not think. She ran. Inside the building, heat slammed her body. Smoke choked her lungs as she climbed toward the cries. Memories flashed. Her beloved niece, gone in a house fire. The night she failed to save someone she loved. She would not fail again. Kicking down a burning door, she found a coughing boy curled beneath a desk, cheeks streaked with soot. His name, Liam. He clung to her like she was the last safety in the world. "Hold on. I got you," she promised. Burning debris fell as she shielded his small body with hers. Step by agonizing step, she carried Liam out into the oxygen of night. When fresh air hit his lungs, his frightened sobs filled the street. She collapsed to her knees, coughing, tears streaking through soot. Her vision blurred, but she smiled. He was alive. She had succeeded. Moments later, a black SUV screeched to a stop. A tall, sharply dressed man leapt out before the engine died. His polished shoes splashed water as he sprinted forward. Alexander Hayes. Billionaire businessman. Feared negotiator. Owner of Hayes Global Enterprises. A man who controlled markets with a phone call. Right now, none of that mattered. "Liam," he shouted, voice cracking with terror. Firefighters rushed the boy into an ambulance, oxygen mask pressed to his face. Alexander tried to follow, but paramedics blocked him. Panic twisted his expression. "Who saved him?" he demanded. People pointed. "She did." Alexander turned to the woman still kneeling on the pavement. She looked more like a ghost than a hero, hair scorched, coat burned, skin blistered. Yet her eyes shimmered with a gentle strength. He approached slowly, stunned. "You saved my son." She looked up, frightened by his intensity. "He will be okay. He is strong." Firefighters tried to check her injuries. She refused treatment and backed away. Kindness always came at a price. Familiar shame surged through her and she disappeared into the crowd before Alexander could stop her. He wanted to thank her. He wanted to know her name. She was already gone. In the hospital, Liam awoke hours later. He tugged on his father's sleeve, voice weak. "Daddy, the lady with the warm hug saved me. Find her. Say thank you." Alexander squeezed his son's small hand. "I will find her. I owe her my life." The CEO began a search more urgent than any business deal he had ever faced. Security footage, witnesses, social media blasts. A reward with no limit. He needed to find the homeless woman the world ignored. Meanwhile, Elena wandered through the city's forgotten streets. Pain flared across her burns, but she cared only that Liam was safe. She had saved one life tonight. That was all she needed. Yet her past haunted her like smoke, her niece whispering for help, the fire, the grief that had never healed. Saving Liam had opened scars she had buried for years. She still left without giving her name. Heroes did not need applause. Especially heroes who slept in alleys. Elena found shelter under an old bridge, rain dripping through cracks. She prayed Liam would recover quickly. She prayed Alexander would not come looking. Because she knew his world. Wealthy, powerful, unreachable. She had once been engaged to someone like him. Someone who left her in ruin when she became inconvenient. Love had turned to ashes, just like that night. She could not let anyone with influence see her weakness again. What she did not know was that Alexander's search had a deeper reason than gratitude. Elena had saved his son from fire. Years ago, she had saved Alexander himself, without ever knowing. Alexander found a lead, a scrap of coat fabric left at the scene. His team traced the brand, discontinued 8 years ago. They found one place that had donated those coats to a small community college. He froze. The college where he once gave a lecture on business entrepreneurship. The night a young nursing student had helped him during an accident near the parking lot, rushing to stop his bleeding after a crash caused by paparazzi. She had risked her scholarship by breaking curfew to call for help. He never learned her name, but he never forgot her compassionate eyes. Now he had seen those eyes again, through smoke. He realized, Elena Reed. That student. His heart pounded harder than during any corporate takeover. He had obtained billions, but the one thing he could never buy was the kindness she possessed effortlessly, even in suffering. He would not fail to help her this time. Days later, Elena sat outside a shelter, bruises dark beneath her eyes. She saw a convoy of luxury vehicles approach. Panic tightened her chest. She tried to hide her face beneath her hood. Too late. Alexander stepped out, eyes soft though firm. Elena Reed. She stopped breathing. He continued, "You saved Liam. You saved me 8 years ago. You deserve more than cold streets and silent suffering. Please, let me help you." People stared, whispering. Elena shook her head. "I do not want charity. I do not belong in your world." Alexander knelt to her level, a CEO humbling himself before a homeless woman. "You belong wherever kindness lives. Let me honor what you did. Not as a businessman. As a father. As a human being." His sincerity broke the walls she had built for survival. For the first time in years, she allowed herself to hope. Alexander moved her into a safe apartment. Doctors treated her burns. He personally ensured she received trauma therapy and support. Weeks turned into months. Elena slowly healed. She returned to school, finishing her nursing degree. The media eventually learned the truth: the anonymous heroine was a homeless woman. People cried hearing her story, but Elena did not want fame. She wanted a future where she could continue saving lives. Liam visited often with drawings that read, "My hero." Elena smiled each time. One evening, Alexander said quietly, "Elena, you gave me back my son. You restored my faith in people. I want to help you build the life you always deserved." She felt gratitude deepen into something gentle, something warm. A connection formed, not built on power or pity, but on mutual respect and shared healing. Her eyes softened. "Thank you, for seeing me." He replied, "You saved us long before we ever found you." Elena Reed went from invisible and homeless to honored and loved, yet she never changed her heart. She continued visiting shelters, providing food and comfort to others still struggling. Her past became her strength. Her pain became her purpose. She learned that one act of courage can rewrite destiny. She had once thought herself forgotten. Now she knew the truth: every person matters. Even the ones society overlooks. Especially the ones who run into fire.